Leave all answers in the simplest radical form. All right, so here we're going to multiply this term times this term first. So 5 times 3 is 15 times the square root of 3 times 6, which is 18. Then we have a minus sign. Then we multiply this term times this term. So 5 times 4 is 20 times the square root of 3 times 5, which is 15. Now the square root of 18 can be simplified because the square root of 18 it can also be written as the square root of 3 squared times 2. 3 squared is 9, times 2 is 18. So we can cancel out that squared, move the 3 out front, and it becomes 3 times the square root of 2. Now, if the square root of 18 becomes 3 times the square root of 2, we have to multiply 15 by 3, so that gives us 45, and then we have the square root of 2 instead of the square root of 18. So this can be simplified to this, but this can't be simplified further. So minus 20 times the square root of 15. So that is our simplest radical form. Here, we have to do FOIL. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times negative 4 times the square root of 2. Well, we multiply 2 times 4 and we get negative 8. And then multiply the radicals, but there's only a radical here. So then we just add the square root of 2. Then we have this term, 3 times the square root of 5 times 3. So we multiply the coefficients, which is 9 plus 9. Multiply the radicals, there's only the square root of 5. And then finally, we multiply the last terms. We're going to have a negative sign. 3 times 4 is 12 times the square root of 5 times 2, which is 10. Now, none of these can be simplified further, so this is our simplest radical form. All right, now that we have those two, let's move on. Here we do FOIL again. We have 4 times 4, which is 16. Then we have 4 times negative 2 times the square root of 3, so that becomes negative 8 times the square root of 3. But then we have positive 8 times the square root of 3. Then we have negative 4 times the square root of 9. So we can see here that negative 8 times the square root of 3 cancels out with positive 8 times the square root of 3. And the square root of 9 is 3. So 16 minus 12 equals 4, because we have 4 times 3 here, that's 12. And so there's no radicals at all in the answer here. Here, 2 plus the square root of 2 squared, well, we can replace this squared with 2 plus the square root of 2. Make it a little simpler to do FOIL. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 times the square root of 2 is 2 times the square root of 2. Then another one of those, the square root of 2 times 2 is plus 2 times the square root of 2. Then the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2, because that would be the square root of 4, which is 2. So then we have 6 plus 4 times the square root of 2. And there we go.